Welcome, we're live. Welcome. We are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. We're going to talk about some stuff. Why are your tax dollars hard at work in the form of FBI agents trying to flag Donald Trump's name in the Epstein Files that apparently don't exist? If the files don't exist, why is the FBI trying to flag Trump's name? That's what Senator Dick Durbin says. What a name growing up. Hello, I'm Richard Durbin. People call me Dick. Dick Durbin. Nice to meet you. That sounds like a 1930s gangster. Like something you'd see on Ken Burns's the 30s, the ruthless 30s gangsters. Old Dick Durbin. They called him Dusty. Because he wore a duster and he'd dust people. Senator Dick Durbin. I don't know if he's a good guy or bad guy, but I'll tell you this. He's got quite the name. Senator Dick Durbin. And sometimes when I say the name Senator, or the word Senator, I think of Greece. Anyways, I'm live. I'm Rob. I go here on the YouTubes every weekday. So I'm talking to you, become ungovernable. No, hit subscribe and the notification bell so you could join me. Also want to talk about Skeet Colbert. As he was known in middle school, Skeet Colbert. Stephen Colbert. I want to talk about Steve Colbert. I wonder if his friends called him Steve. And his good friends called him Skeet. I'm just kidding. Stephen Colbert. I want to talk about Stephen Colbert. Oh, Stephen Colbert getting fired. We need to talk about it. Because I get a lot of people coming into the live stream going, just work harder, get another job, get an education, get another education and another job, get 2 jobs, get 4 jobs. If you just work hard, you don't work hard enough. And here, I'd like to address all the just work harder people. Stephen Colbert, this mother right here, as I called him earlier, Skeet Colbert. Steve Colbert, he not only worked really hard, but that dude was number 1. And it didn't matter. Not only did CBS fire him, or Paramount, or whatever parent company. I love how like companies have parent companies, and in America we have CEOs that are middle management to the upper CEOs, to the parent company CEOs, to the middle management CEOs, to the assistant to the CEO. It's a fucking joke. But for all the just work harder people, Stephen Colbert was the epitome of working hard, and it did not matter. He got fired, and not only did he get fired, but they decided to axe his show. And let me just tell you, for all the people who go, oh, well, late night doesn't make a lot of money. It is a number 1 selling show. Like when you have a television show, like when I worked in radio, if you were the number 1 show on that station, guess what? Your salespeople don't go, hey, let me tell you about this let me tell you about this midday afternoon show that we want to sell you. You want your advertisements running at 11 in the morning, don't you? No, they're going to try to sell the number 1 show. So you can't tell me that it was financial reasons, because as somebody who worked in radio, it's like, listen, if they're going to sell commercials on a TV station, usually those sponsors want to be seen on that number 1 show. That's also why Fox News, if you watch any of their commercials, it's like ED medication, Medicaid, reverse home mortgages. You know, there aren't these great advertisers on there. But if you watch The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, you're going to see the creme la de crop on his. So whatever they say, it's hard to, like, even in this article that I linked down below by Axios, or I think this is Axios article, but no matter what, like even this article that is saying there's a real reason, you know, CBS fired Stephen Colbert because he didn't bend the knee, and they're trying to create this $1 billion merger, and they need Trump's approval, even though this guarantees nothing because Trump is more temperamental than like a bitch in heat. it doesn't matter. It's just so crazy to me because this is what it reminds me of. Okay. Stephen Colbert, his show made money. His show was a selling point for CBS. And when I used to work in radio, we knew when you had the number one show that they were making money. It didn't matter how much, they were making money. But they would always, whenever you went to ask for a raise, they would say, it's not in the budget, just struggling times, radio's about to die, right? But in the internal memos and the internal emails and radio, they would always say, the shows, you guys, they would address us and they'd say, you guys are the lifeblood of the company. You're what make the company run. So it's like, at some point, CBS, I'm sure there are internal memos that could leak. CBS at some point was probably like, we want to thank Stephen Colbert. He won another whatever he won, or if he came in number one, he was probably carrying CBS. I'm sure they have other shows, but for him in late night in that spot, he's going to, if you're the number one show, you're going to be a top selling ticket for that station. And he helped create, the past decade of entertainment on CBS and in that late night hour. I'm curious to know what they're going to put on in that late night hour. Reruns of something? I Dream a Genie? Who knows? Welcome. There are some people showing up. Welcome. I'm Rob. I comment on the news. We do news commentary. We joke about the news because the news is a joke. And if you didn't hear, Stephen Colbert got fired. We're going to talk about Epstein, the list that doesn't exist, and how Donald Trump is utilizing your tax dollars at work. He's spending your tax dollars to force, allegedly, what old Dusty Dick Durbin said, is that thousands of FBI agents are tasked with flagging his name in the files that don't exist, right? If they don't exist, why would they be looking for Trump's name? Well, we know why. We know why. We know why. We know why. By the way, I shared this news story too. The Good Liars filled Donald Trump's gift shop at Trump Tower with these postcards, which is getting hilarious. And we're going to get into that in a second. But I just want to address, because so many people will come into my live stream, come into my chat, and say, stop complaining, just work harder. And the reason I bring that up is because Stephen Colbert, one of the most highly rated late night comedy shows that was a critic, was just fired. It doesn't matter how hard. And this is, thank Trump is making this point for me. Donald Trump is making the point. Because if Trump had no issues, if he wasn't such a sensitive egomaniac and he could take a joke or had a sense of humor, Stephen Colbert would still be there. But the gods at CBS and Paramount are trying to appease him, and Stephen Colbert is a harsh critic of, the petty tyrant. And if you haven't seen Jon Stewart from The Daily Show, his take on it, I linked his video down below. You should really watch Jon Stewart's. But Stephen Colbert made CBS, CBS, or I don't want to say made, but over the past decade, made CBS have some notoriety, have competition in that late night field against the Fallons of the world. Ugh, gross. Notice how Jimmy Fallon isn't fired. Is that guy still even on the air? He loves Trump, though, so, he just dusted his head or whatever Fallon did, If you bend the knee, you're safe. But this is my point. This is my point to all the people who say, just work harder. Stephen Colbert, the epitome of working hard, moving up, challenging yourself, taking on the challenge, coming in number one. It doesn't matter, because they'll turn around and gut you if it means appeasing their king. So stop saying work hard. We need to rearrange the system. We have the power. We, the people, not we, the what is it called? Not the royal we. It's we the people, not the royal we, where it means Trump and Trump alone, and the billionaires decide what's going on. Wake up to that, folks. That's really what I'm trying to get through to people. Like, all the people who say, just work harder. It's like, why? I know people that are working themselves to death. They're working their fingers to the bone and not getting ahead. And then look at Stephen Colbert, most highly rated late night comedy critic, fired. Tell Stephen Colbert to just work harder. Oh, well, he doesn't go and complain. No, he does critique the system. He does. That's what you're not waking up to. But you're in service of a king. You're in service of a petty tyrant and these billionaires that want you to keep fighting that fight against people who are like, we shouldn't have to do this. You know, one job, one full-time job, you should be able to live in America. Not 3, not 2, not 2 working adults with 2 full-time jobs. 1 adult, 1 job. Boom. Couple weeks month vacation, paid health care with your taxes. Like, why is it just billionaires get to live the high life and then get to meddle in your brain? They ain't meddling in my brain. I know who needs to be taxed more. Tax wealth, not work. Understood? All right, now we can move on from Colbert. But I wanted to bring that up, and I really, really implore people to watch The Late Show's take on Stephen Colbert getting fired. Mind you, or not The Daily Show, sorry, Jon Stewart and The Daily Show. Mind you, Jon Stewart and The Daily Show, owned by Paramount too. So we'll see if they axe him. We know he stopped doing his show on Apple or whatever. And this is what I mean. It's like, who is okay with corporations censoring stuff? If you are, then I never want to hear out of your mouth, oh, go live in Russia or communist China or any of that, because that's what they do. And we were supposed to be the land of the free. You're supposed to be able to critique things, dissent, have difference of opinions. And here we are in America, where to have $1 billion merger between Paramount and Skydance, they're silencing a critic on their station. And it doesn't matter if you go, you should stay out of politics, just stay in comedy. Everything is politics. Everything. He comments on the news, and I don't know if you've been in America for the past, 10 years. Everything is political. If you don't get political, you might as well just take it up the ass. At that point, move, you know? If you don't want to get political, get out of the country, because we, the people, meant all of us. We're supposed to have a say. Hi, I'm the only one here. Merry Misfit Echo. Allie, hi. Josh Gee, needs some milk, somebody? We the wealthy. There we go, Alma. Oh, Alma's here. The co-founder for the Heritage Foundation. Yeah, the Heritage Foundation. Hold on. There we go. Here we go, Alma. Type again, and you should be able to, I was thinking about this the other day. It's like, Alma's always in here. She's been here. Alma, I'm pretty sure you were out in San Diego, right? You were with me back when I was on the radio. I'm pretty sure. So, with that kind of longevity, you deserve a moderation pin. You can tell people to shut up. But yeah, so I wanted to address that. Now, let's get into the real news. Old Dusty Dick Durbin. Senator Richard Durbin. If you're just joining, I call him Dusty Dick Durbin because Dick Durbin sounds like a Ken Burns documentary on the gangsters of the 1930s. That's what his name reminds me of. They called him Dick Dusty Durbin. He is known to wear a duster and dust people. So Senator Richard Durbin, sorry, Dick, is saying that there's about 1,000 FBI agents, that's your tax dollars hard at work, folks, 1,000 FBI agents going to flag Trump's name in the Epstein Files that apparently don't exist. Didn't Pam Blondie say they don't exist? If they don't exist, why are you looking for his name? I mean, we don't even need to look for... The funniest part is, like, the people who, like, just released the files. It's like, how about just look at the photos? We don't need the files. We got photos. Like, what are the files going to say? Yes, he was there. I forgot. I was watching something yesterday. Where's the, I don't know if I have this news story here. All right, Alma. There we go. She's got it. Yup. P1 Nikita, see? Sounds like a senior citizen. But what I was watching some kind of news... There's all these news stories now that are compiling the evidence from the 90s till today of Donald Trump and his accusers and people that had not only accused him, but had also accused him in the same breath of Epstein. And one lady in one of these news things I was watching said, I'm number 27. And then another lady goes, I'm known as number 28. And I was like, my Christ, we forgot This guy who says, I don't doodle, is trying to distance himself from drawing a naked lady when, mind you, his first campaign in 2016, he was bragging about his locker room talk, grab him by the pee. You know what I mean? Well, it's like the evidence is in front of your eyes. It's just hard for the people to say the emperor is wearing no clothes. It's hard for these people who have been loyalists the whole way because they thought they were going to get to the PDF file ring and they were going to break through and get the Clintons and all this stuff and the Democrats, and not realizing that their king, Donald Jennifer Taco Trump, has been best friends on video and has 28 women accusers. 28. Those are Cosby-esque numbers. I mean, if we're talking about a Hall of Fame, it's like Cosby, Harvey Weinstein, this dude. You know what I mean? Like, guys, it's right in front of you. The reason they're not releasing the files, the reason they released like 5,000 files on MLK, JFK, double grassy knoll, I'm surprised they're going to be like, hey, we got Lincoln files. You guys want to know about Wilkes Booth and Lincoln? We're releasing those. They're going to come out this week and be like, there's aliens, there's Illuminati. They're going to throw everything at the wall. That's what they're doing. Why? Because, I don't know, this guy has 28 accusers. His first campaign ran on grabbing him by the pee, and now he's like, no. He was a creep. I didn't know. If that's a creep, why are you looking creepily with him? You know? I know people that are creeps, and I wouldn't be in photographs with them. I know people I don't like that I'm not best friends with. I don't send them birthday cards. He said he caps off the age limit of 12 years old. Timothy, you're watching a lot of news that I'm watching. If she wasn't my daughter, I'd be dating her. That guy, someone. Thank you. And that's their name. If you're watching this later, the name in the chat is that guy, someone. I'm not losing my mind. I'm not having, what's it? Something of grandeur? Illusions of grandeur? What's it called? I forget. Dementias of grandeur? By the way, I found this tarot card reader, this old Australian lady who reads tarot cards, and she was saying something's coming in 2 weeks about these two. She was talking about his health and all this, and she was like, yo, the empire is crumbling. Are off the drugs again? Are typing with one finger again? Delusions of grandeur. Thank you, that guy, someone. Thank you. Delusions. Why did I say illusions of grandeur? I'm going to call it delusions of dementia. That's what I'm going to call it. Because this dude is off his rocker. And, you know, you can only hope that these people who thought they were like the Pizzagate, QAnon, the Dan Oingo Boingo, the Dan Vaginas, the Cash Patels, all these people that were like the Theo Vons, like, we got to get the files, man. We got to get the files. It's like, how about you just, you know, you want the files of this guy, and then we have this guy who many photos and videos of him. This guy, not this one, this one who said, you know, I capped the age limit at 12 on Howard Stern. If she wasn't my daughter, I'd be dating her. Like, this guy. You think this guy is the one that's gonna call out his friend? You think this is the guy that's gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give him up? His lawyer was his lawyer. The Acosta guy was the guy that gave him a sweetheart deal who works for him now. I've heard his regime is thinking about, what is it called when you, a pardon of Ghislaine. Let me make a plea to Ghislaine. I don't know if you get YouTube in prison, but release more you know? Because I'm guessing Ghislaine's family has, like, a break glass. This is what I'm imagining, right? Ghislaine's family has, like, in case of an emergency, break glass. And when you break the glass, it was the leather-bound book with the birthday card that this creep wrote about the enigma and wonderful secrets they share. There's probably all sorts of stuff that's like, yo, if they ever put me in prison, you break the glass and you start leaking this shit until I get a deal. So I'm guessing there's more to come, because you don't spend this much time. I mean, look at how young this dude is. This was in the 90s, right? I'm guessing this had to be in the 90s. You don't spend that much time send 50th anniversary or birthday cards to people. You don't do all that and not have more breadcrumbs everywhere. And for the people who are like, who have been desperate loyalists and hoping like he was the one that's going to expose him, let me just tell you, if there's enough breadcrumbs, as in he's got 28 accusers and he said very, very creepy things, and he's got all these pictures and videos and dancing and records and interviews. This guy did interviews in magazines and said, I'm good friends with him and we like beautiful women. And he just likes him a little bit younger than me, but we are very much the same. He's very fun. This guy did magazine interviews about this guy. Like, you know what? Like, I don't know how else to be clear with this. I feel like a parent at this point. I'm like, I don't know how to put this together much better for you. Like, if the puzzle pieces aren't fitting, fuck, maybe you're just stupid. Oh, sorry, I'm missing. You're thinking of Benny Johnson. Oh, yeah. Oh, Benny Johnson. He's one of them, too. No, Theo Vaughn just had President Vice President, soon to be President, J.D. Vance on. And Theo Vaughn was like, release the files. And Vance was like, yeah, we got to release them files. And then they were like, oh, you meant like really do that? Oh, no. This guy's all over him. We can't do that. He's in the fight logs. He's writing birthday cards. We can't do that. Stay woke. Question everything, doesn't matter, left or right. Break free from the orange regime. Grow a spine, think for yourself. Thank you, Apex. I appreciate that because people do, you know? It's really like, guys, there are so many breadcrumbs, and specifically 28 accusers of breadcrumbs for this guy. And you think, what? He's the hero? It's funny, you know? When they talk about this stuff, when they're like, we need morality and ethics, it's like, this guy cheated on, I think, 2 of his wives. This guy in the 90s, like, held pageants, even though he's not like a what would you call somebody who's into modeling? You know, he's not like a known scout for models, and he just held pageants and then went on Howard Stern to brag about how he could be the biggest creep ever and just walk in when these women were changing. Like, I want you to think about that for a second, right? If your friend, sister, mother, daughter, girlfriend, whatever, went to a pageant and you were like, how was it after? And she was like, oh, the owner, this old creep named Trump, came in when I was in the middle of changing and like hugged me and and all that. Like, you'd be like, fuck that dude. But somehow, what? Because he said, like, we're going to attack woke books. Like, you think he's your hero? Jesus Christ. Yep, Bernard, he bragged. This is what I mean. It's like, guys, I don't know how many more breadcrumbs you need. Maybe you just need the loaf. But there's like Howard Stern, New York Magazine. There's all these different recordings, interviews, him bragging. This guy bragging about how creepy he could be. It also shows you kind of how far we've come in society. That's the one thing that, like, I do look at these stories and go, thank Christ that we're in a day and age where accountability has really become lacking here in America. Accountability has very much become lacking, right? Especially when the president sets the tone. But as much as it's lacking, it's like, yo, that stuff getting exposed in society collectively, even though if the right and the alt-right are trying to do it to like own the libs, like at that point it doesn't matter, because if you're at least trying to be like, this is bad and we need to stop it, we need to expose these people and these people need accountability and punishments, like I'm good with that, you know? Jehu is just a fucking troll, that's all. These people come in and like they make no points and they're just like, oh, what are you off drugs today? Like they say stupid shit and you're like, god damn, I bet you're fun having a conversation with, really. I bet you're like, you know, very popular. But that's the problem. You know, these people don't know how to fucking interact with others. They become incels and then they blame the world. And someone like this guy comes along and says like, it's wokeness that made you lonely. And you're like, no, you're just fucking mean or you're a dick. You know, like it's that simple. It's really that simple, folks. It's like these people who have no personality, no charisma. They have no, je ne sais quoi. They have no sense of humor. That's what I'm trying to say. These people have no sense of humor, take themselves too seriously, think that they're better than others. There's like a plethora of fucking personality traits. And I see it all the time in my comments. Debate you on what? What? Dro demand. Go and do your own live. I got 16 people in here and you're in here, okay? Again, this is the shit where I'm like, you have zero personality, because if you did, you'd be go doing your own live. And no one's stopping you. Go. Bye. Because the people I have in here, I appreciate, and people that want to come in here and want to hit subscribe and want to joke about the news and want to have commentary are not you. Your whole thing, man, is, I mean, you guys are a fucking nickel for 100. It's not even a dime a dozen. You guys are like, you could get a fucking 100 of you. You're the same person. You just want to attack everything because you feel threatened. There's no like conversation, dialogue. It's just, if you offended me by, saying my leader isn't what he is, then I got to attack you. It's just pathetic. And what you're seeing here is like, guys, Jehu and Dro Demand, can you guys admit Trump is in the Epstein Files? Can you admit that? I'll give you a couple seconds. I know there's a delay. Just say like, yes, we recognize our president is in the Epstein Files. Why else would they have 1,000 right now? Why else would they have 1,000 FBI agents reviewing 1,000 pieces of paper trying to flag Trump's name? So Dro, Jehu, are you guys, I see, this is what I mean. It's like, I ask MAGA to do this all the time. I'm like, can you just say the obvious? He's not. See, there it is. He's not in the Epstein Files, even though he's been proven to be, he's on the flight log 7 times. It's like leaked stuff that's confirmed. It's not like, this is what I mean. It's like, you don't live in reality. Oh, Christ. It's like, this is what I can't do with MAGA. I can't go in your suspended universe of like make-believe and try to debate shit, because you don't have a sense of reality. That's the thing. Like, this is not up for debate. Again, when you say he's not in the Epstein Files, okay, this guy, right? He's totally not in the files. This is what I mean. It's like, you just don't live on Earth, and it's okay. Thank you, Alma. You just don't live on Earth, and it's all right. Some people, I don't know what it is, a brain injury, something, because it's a cult. There we go. Prove to us that being in the files is criminal. I didn't say anything about criminal. I said creep. I said PDF file. I said his words, the whole grab him by the P. My age limit is 12. I go into, I own the pageant, so I go backstage while they're changing. All that stuff that he said, not me. He did like interviews and bragged about it. All the stuff he said makes him a creep. And allegedly, MAGA and the alt-right are against, these creeps, these traffickers, all this stuff. Apparently, you're not anymore. I can't figure out what you stand for, because it just changes with what Donald Trump says. But this is what I mean. It's like, Jeffrey Epstein was in prison. Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison because there were criminal things done. And the files would allude to associates, conspiracists. Conspiracy is when more than one person plans to do a crime. And just like Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, I think Gates, Hawken, like all these creeps, all these billionaire creeps. And this is what I'm trying to get people to understand. You need to understand that you can suck his butthole all you want. He don't care about you. He ain't doing anything for you. And someday you might realize, you might not live long enough to realize this, but there are people waking up that you can suck this dude's butthole all you want, and he's going to turn around and fart in your face, okay? And that's the bottom line, folks. He don't care about you. This big, beautiful bill is about to raise your taxes and steal people's Medicare. He's getting his corporate his corporate fealty money donations, his I forget what it's called, the paying tribute. He's having all his corporations pay tribute. He's doing whatever he wants, and you guys still think sucking up to him is like somehow going to, I don't know what, make your life better. And this is what we're talking about. We're talking about creeps that were running a huge trafficking ring that apparently MAGA cared about a lot. Some of them in here now saying, who cares? Is a criminal? Who cares? It's like when you change your tune that much, I don't know what to debate, what to have a discussion with you, because apparently you have no, what's that called? Character. You have no character. Because if just you don't care about anything, it's like going into a discussion or a debate and just trying to win. It's very Ben Shapiro. Like, he doesn't really have anything to stand on. He just wants to win, and he'll win at any means necessary. That's why that huge H-bomber guy viral video happened, you know, because he was like, well, let's say Ben Shapiro did the whole, let's say the seas rise by 2 feet and everybody that lives on the coast, they're just going to sell their homes. And he was like, to who, man? Aquaman? You know, and that's the sign of these Republicans, the right, the Ben Shapiro's, the podcast network that's like buddying up to Trump, the MAGAs. It's like they're not here to have a real discussion. They're just here to try and fucking own you. Which in this case, the owning is like you're backing the creepiest fucking dude ever. Somebody you wouldn't have your daughter around, your wife, your kid. your sister, your aunt, your grandmother, like no woman. No woman. Where was this tune against Biden? Oh, God. Here's the thing. I don't like Biden. Jesus Christ. That's the only thing. MAGA is so dead set on red-blue. Like, Trump has fed them. Like, we got to go against the Democrats. It's the deep state Democrats. That they don't realize there's a lot of people in this country that like didn't vote and are like, none of this shit's for me, you know? And I'm one of them. I'm like, this whole system is fucked because it doesn't matter. Red or blue, they're both puppets to money. That's it. They don't work for people. If they did, if Donald Trump really cared about people, instead of no tax on tips for only 4 years, by the way, the corporate tax break is permanent. The no tax on tips and overtime, that's 4 years. 2028 expires. So another gotcha. By Donald Trump, not me. Oh, Christ. But if he really cared about the working class, he would just say, no more tip wage. We're going to raise the federal minimum wage, which he could easily do. And he hasn't done it because he doesn't give a shit about people. And if you go, well, I don't make minimum wage, it's like, you fucking idiot. People in your community do, and your community suffers when they have to compete for assets with wealthy people because the wealthy people are owning everything. Buying up everything. There's corporate landlords now. I mean, Christ. Look at other countries. Go to the Reddit of other countries, and they're like, we're going to turn into America. There's going to be corporate landlords everywhere. I mean, it's not looking good, guys. If you invested your money, Trump would have made... Oh, Jesus Christ. Again, it's like... Cheeto Daddy. That's a funny one, Cheeto Daddy. And by the way, since there's a few more people here, yeah, just so you know where your tax dollars are going. The FBI agents are trying to flag all mentions of Trump in the Epstein Files. But also, real quick, for all those say just work harder, Stephen Colbert, the epitome of working hard, didn't matter how hard he worked, fired to appease Trump, obviously. They're not going to come out and say that, but if Trump's got to approve the merger, or if his regime's got to approve the merger, it doesn't matter how hard you work in America, as long as corporations have the final say, we have none. And I am more for the people having a say. I say, if this country was an experiment and created to, you know, have the people be a voice and be able to represent their communities, I say we're doing a bad job and we can do better. So I just wanted to mention that. See, it's funny he says this dumb shit, but I live in a blue state where they've made rent control illegal. Well, I don't know what that first part is, but yeah, blue or red. Again, guys, if you're still in the whole blue or red paradigm, you need to get out of that. Neither of them work for us. Like, I try to explain it to people like this. If you voted all Democrats, the House, the Senate, the president, all Democrats, you think we're getting universal health care? You think we're getting health care paid for by our tax dollars? That's hilarious. That's adorable. I want to pat you on the head and say, that's cute. Maybe you'll wake up one day. No, it doesn't matter. We can vote for all Democrats up and down the House. They're not going to put universal health care. Why? Big Pharma lobbies them. That's who they work for. Whoever has paid for their campaign to be there. Whoever gave them the keys to the kingdom. That's who they work for, okay? Orange Man is bad, and he's also a creep. I mean, here's the thing. History's going to show, okay? And if you're anything for getting people who are creeps and traffickers or visitors of Epstein's locations off the streets, then I would hope you would, want to push for these files to be released before the FBI flags all of Trump's names and then blacks it out. He's a bad dude, and it's amazing. Yes, Jehu, we're not going to stop talking about the Epstein stuff. You know why? Because your petty tyrant of a king wants us to be quiet about it. So this is all we're going to do. This is all we're going to do. We're going to keep banging on that door. Remember when he promised to release the files and then Pam Blondie said they don't exist? Remember that? I have a meme to show you what that looks like. Oh, wait. I was joking about him the other day. If it takes hundreds of FBI agents to flag mentions of you in the Epstein Files, you might be a PDF file. Here, I got a meme for you, Jehu. People on the Epstein list, let's see who this really is. Oops, there is no list. I love this one. This one got me, because I'm a Scooby-Doo fan. That one got me. He literally ran his campaign saying he's going to release the files. Thank you, Timothy. Thank you, Timothy. That's what I mean. It's like, it's so funny. The build up to, I mean, as just as recent as a few weeks ago, they were all bragging about it. We have it on our desk. We have tens of thousands of, like, this was the big buildup. If he wasn't best friends, if he wasn't sending birthday cards to the guilty, we would have had the files. And guess what? If it was just Bill Clinton and Bill Gates and Richard Branson, I'm trying to think of all the names that I read about. If it was just those people, you guys would be rah-rah, shish-boom-bah on it. But because it's your orange turd, you're like, oh, God, can't we just move on, guys? Really? There's trafficking rings all the time. There's people who fly people to private islands for nefarious reasons all the time. Move on. You guys are fucking hilarious. Oh, I love this one, C-Unit. Again, MAGA is like, it's almost like you guys have bullet points where you're like, all right, guys, try this one. He lives free in your head. He doesn't. In fact, when I go home, I paint, I hang out with my kids. I don't think about them at all. But the thing is when I'm doing my lives, when we're joking about the news, we're not going to let him live this down. Why do you think Stephen Colbert got fired? Because he critiques him. This is the one thing that you can get under his skin and your skin. And the funniest part is, like, you would think if I was taking shots at you, if I was saying like, oh, you're, friends with Epstein, you sent him birthday cards, then you would have this kind of reaction. But you have this kind of reaction for someone who doesn't give a crap about you. In fact, he wouldn't even poop in your toilet because it's not gold. He would call you poor and tell you to get away from him. And you're going to bat. You are going hard to bat for him. And that's the funniest, saddest thing. I call it sad-larious. It's a word I created because these times are sometimes so funny that it's almost like you need retrospective to understand how funny it is, because initially it's sad to watch grown men defend a president. I just never thought I'd see the day in America where, like, people were like, we gotta, like, rock merch of a president. AI merch where he looks like Rambo's body. It's sad hilarious. It's pathetic sad hilarious. I gotta come up with a new word, but sad hilarious works for right now. We shouldn't miss out on our tangerine tyrant just because some kids. I'm not gonna read the rest of that, Douglas. Rent freaking free all day and all night in your dome. C-Unit, the thing is most Republican and MAGA accusations are admissions, and I think this is one of them. Where you probably have like a Trump poster up in your room, you have a shirt, you got to wear your MAGA hat so everybody knows you're MAGA. It's the most sad, hilarious thing I've seen grown men do. And I've seen some grown-ass men. I'm talking about like old men, where I'm like, oh, it's fucking pathetic. I wonder if before the Revolutionary War, well, I guess that's why they called them redcoats. Well, no, because the army was red. But I wonder if people were like rocking King George III hats, being like, bitch, you better recognize I'm a loyalist. Oh, shit. You guys, sad hilarious. I don't know how else to put it. It's fucking sad hilarious. So I'm very sorry that, you know, your petty tyrant turns out to be best friends with Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know who could have seen this, right? You know, just all the interviews, photographs, videos, birthday cards. How could you have seen this coming? I mean, I understand the shock you must be in because your petty tyrant is, you know, going to be exposed in the Epstein Files if thousands of FBI agents don't flag his name for Pam Blondie. I get it, guys. You guys must be in shock. You guys must be in shock. My condolences, thoughts and prayers to you guys. Who could have seen this coming? The grab him by the pee guy. The locker room talk hero. The champion who went on Howard Stern to brag about going into the back room of pageants with these girls while they were changing. Who could have seen this coming? No! Oh, it's grief. Go through all the stages of grief, guys. Oh, Christ. Oh, it is very forced, but you're forcing it upon me, L. Ron Hubbard. It's always the insert opinion. It is always the people you least expect. Who could have seen it, guys? I mean, this photo taken, 25 years ago or whenever. Who could have thought he might be on his list? Who could have thought this neighbor would have known this neighbor? And when this guy said, oh yeah, we partied together. I mean, the only other time I've seen Donald Trump dance is when he's, jerking the giraffes for all his maggots. And they're like, yeah, get it. Macho man. He's gonna be macho man. The only other time I've seen Donald dance is when he's with this dude. And they're whispering secret nothings. These two enigmas, they're like wonderful secrets. We keep them. Holy Christ, who could have seen this coming? The photo is old news. Trump is on the list is old news. Oh, but we're making it new again, L. Ron Hubbard, and I appreciate you for helping. I'm going to make sure your daddy, Donald Jennifer Taco Trump, knows that L. Ron Hubbard was here to say the photo is old. Trump on the list is old news. Oh, so why don't they release the files, L. Ron Hubbard? Blues Clues, Timothy Travis. My Christ, that's why that's an important show. How drunk do you think Kamala Harris is by now? Hammer don't hurt him. I don't know. I don't like her. Bitch. All these presidents are bitches. I'm sorry. Biden, bitch. Trump, bitch. They all were like, we're going to legalize cannabis. Fuck you all. Just legalize it. God. It makes me so mad. I don't mean to derail, but fucking cannabis is a medicine, folks. It's a fucking medicine. Proven to stop seizures in children. And this guy proven to fucking walk in the back room while those children are changing. One is good for you. One is the bad for you. I feel like I need to make PSAs again. I'm old enough to remember when there was the PSA where the dad was cooking on the skillet and he's like, this is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. He cracked the egg into the omelet. I feel like we need that shit again. That's what society's missing. Mr. Rogers, Jim Henson, PSAs, Blues Clues, because you fucking dolts don't understand that, like, this dude would, before he would do anything in this country for you, he'd rather walk in on your sister changing. All right? Thank you, Hammer. Appreciate you. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell if you love my car studio. I said it earlier, national security. 28 alleged witnesses, or 28 abuse victims of this one. We're talking Cosby numbers, you know? He's like the Kobe Bryant. He's like the Kobe Bryant of... Oh, Hammer, are you trying to like insult me like cool car studio? I love it. Because I took it as a compliment. And I appreciate the compliment. Don't forget, you can buy me a coffee. A wise friend, a wise sage once shared with me, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So if you want to support the channel, more than hitting subscribe and the notification bell, sorry. Oh, hiccup. I go live every weekday, 5 days a week. So after you hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, you join us. We joke about the news because the news is kind of a joke. But you can also buy me a coffee, link down below if you want to support the channel. Until we crack that 1 million mark, I think when we hit 1 million subscribers, we're going to... F the copyright stuff. We are going to play Starship. Nothing's gonna stop us now. Good song, by the way. Good song. Hey man, turning in from overseas. Hope you guys are getting through this horror this power hungry psycho brings to the US. It's 42. Where overseas? Where overseas are you? Where overseas? I'm always curious. We have people in Germany, France, I don't think Australia yet. Egypt, India, all over the place. So I'm curious. Germany, all right. We got a few people from Germany. Croatia too. What is it, Zach? I think it's Zach in Croatia. I got to ask him how the concert in Croatia went, if it happened yet. That's rad, Germany. I would love to go. I was talking to somebody who was in here the other day of Germany. Have you been to the Black Forest? It's 42. I'm not sure if you've got to go to visit the Black Forest, but that is one of the locations I would like to see at some point. As soon as we bump up the minimum wage to $66 an hour, everybody gets 4 weeks vacation, your health care is paid by your taxes, and we tax the wealthy. I know, that's radical, right? Imagine that. People's living conditions weren't dictated by how many freaking jobs they work. Imagine that. You know, once in America, you could just work one full-time job, buy a house. You didn't even have to fucking go to school. You could have kids, all this shit. And now there's maggots everywhere being like, no, work 4 jobs, just work harder. Let me remind you about working harder. Stephen Colbert worked pretty hard. Didn't matter. He was the #1 show. They just fucking fired him. So I had a colleague that's a hunter over there. Really? Ebersberg Forest. I'm going to look that up, 42. Yeah, that would destroy the nation, Elron. $66 minimum wage. You understand? Elron, do you know who implemented the minimum wage? What president? Tell me. Anyways, I'm going to look up Ebersberg Forest. It's 42. Do you have a YouTube channel? You should, while you're in Germany, go do a walk at night and see if it's haunted. Sorry, I want to visit most of these locations, not to like just enjoy it, but I'd like to go stay overnight and see if there's like a Bigfoot or a Yeti or something. I know, I'm crazy. Elron, of course, I've given you enough time. I don't think you know who implemented minimum wage, but FDR did. When he implemented it, he said this is not supposed to be the wages of a bare existence living, but these are the wages of a decent living. So he meant, and you can watch, I have a short of FDR talking about the minimum wage and that it should include recreation. It should be paid. And for now, with inflation and all that. And the amazing thing is we could do all this, folks. We could have America back. You know what the one thing that has changed over the past 70 years in America? Do you know the one thing that has fucking ruined America? CEO pay, corporate buybacks. Corporate buybacks, stock buybacks were illegal until Reagan legalized them because it just inflated the value without any kind of actual duty to what the stock price was. And CEO pay has tripled, like 1,000 to 3,000%. And if we just tax the wealthy, like here in Massachusetts, if you don't know, we put a 2% tax on people making over $3 million a year. And now every school kid gets lunch. And if you want to get a bachelor's degree, you can go to community college, you get it for free. And there's a few other things, but it's just amazing that a small little tax on people who never will have to struggle again because they have infinite fucking money, like Elon Musk. He can blow up rockets all day long, never go broke. He can trash Twitter into a neo-Nazi fucking dumpster fire of a website and never go broke. And our tax dollars will continue to make sure he can blow up rockets. But when I talk about taxing the wealthy so everyone can live a decent life, we get this bullshit. Elron, you agree with what I said, though? Dude, if it became law that minimum wage was $66, no, it wouldn't destroy our economy. You know how, Elron? Because we would tax people like Jeff Bezos, who could rent out Venice but pays less taxes than you. Christ. We need an education. I got to start making educational. This is now an educational video because I'm teaching you that FDR, when he implemented the minimum wage, he gave a long speech, and I think you should look it up. I have a short on what he talked about. You need some mandatory health insurance. Thank you. It's 42. They should make stock trading for politicians illegal as well. Agreed. Had ankle surgery and had to pay like 38 bucks. My heart just dropped. Had ankle surgery and had to pay 30. I thought you were going to say 38 grand. Because here in America, you'd have to fucking second mortgage your home to have ankle surgery. FDR didn't say we should have $66 minimum wage. No, he said if your business has to exploit people and can't pay them enough to live, have a good education, have decent health and recreation, then your business shouldn't exist. So what he meant is for you to be paid enough where you can take vacations a year, buy a home. Look it up. I'm not going to debate you. This is fucking history, and it shows why Donald Trump wants to defund education, wants you to stay stupid and just listen to him. Put your blinders on and just do what he says. That's it. Because as soon as you get educated in this, you start to understand, oh, we've been fucked. We've been the ones taking it. While the rich get richer, while they rent out Venice, while they do whatever they want, while they traffic above the law, while they tell you one thing and give you nothing, and people will fight for it. You are debating it. You are debating it. Why? Because fucking that shouldn't be shocking. This is why they call me the radical woke left, because I go $66 minimum wage. And you go, oh, it's small businesses. There are no more fucking small businesses in America. Fly around this country, Walmart, Target, Kohl's, CVS, Walgreens, and then they're going to strip them for parts, and we'll be left with one big fucking Walmart, and that's ugly, and I hate America for it. Fuck this noise. I like mom and pop shops, but they don't exist. You know, Amazon, you know how Amazon came to be? You should really go look up the story of how Amazon came to be. They decided to undersell because Jeff Bezos knew he could forever. While he killed Jeffrey the Giraffe and Toys R Us, while he killed Zapatos or Zippos or whatever the shoe store is, while he killed all his competition and then consumed them. And that's capitalism. It's cancer. It's infinite growth in a finite system. And if you don't start to wake up to this shit, it's just going to get worse. But I appreciate you in here, Elron. Hit subscribe. Small businesses do exist. They do! Of course they do. I'm just saying they don't really. And as soon as let's say this, your small business does something good enough, you don't think the big fucking corporations that run this country aren't going to come for you? I've seen it time and time again. No. I know you didn't say that's L. Ron Hubbard. I'm saying that's another talking point. When I had to debate or testify against these corporate lobbyists at the State House of Massachusetts, that's the shit they utilize. But if you look at the minimum wage raises over time in Massachusetts, it's only benefited society. What do you know? When 70% of your economy is consumers' purchasing power, and you give those consumers more money, your economy does better. I know, it's fucking crazy. These people hate Trump. They're canceling him because he's literally losing billions. No, we hate Trump. I'll tell you why I hate Trump. Because he's best friends with this fucking dude. Just because you don't have a job, people don't either. Unemployed behavior. What does that even mean? Unemployed behavior? That's such a fucking Republican phrase. Unemployed behavior. What are you playing, Fortnite? Actually, I do go live sometimes playing Fortnite. Who gives a shit? You know what I love? I love that kids figured out they could have their job be playing Fortnite. I think it's fucking radical. Awesome. All right, guys. So don't forget, release the files. Release the files. Hit subscribe. I'm Rob. 5 days a week. We joke about the news because the news is a joke. I do news commentary. I call it newsmentary. One day when we hit 1 million subs, I can't do it without your help. So right now, hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Look, oh, here we go. Bill Clinton, Jeffrey BFF. Yes, Bill Clinton too. You think I have an allegiance? You think I have a fucking Bill Clinton hat at my house? God damn. You are dumb. You understand that, right? I don't wear a make fucking Bill Clinton's reputation awesome again. I don't give a shit about any president. You think I fucking have presidential clothing at my house? Christ. Something's wrong with you people. Stop wearing presidential merch. That's the lesson for today. That's the moral of today's Mr. Rogers episode, folks. Stop fucking presidential merch. I don't care. I don't have it on with her hat, and I never would. Kennedy was cool, but we're not talking about presidential cool. He was fucking smart. You ever read his book, Profiles in Courage? Great one. Here's the book that... Here. I want you guys to read this book, okay? I do have a book club if you want to join our Discord. I have a book club. This is a great book. Kennedy's presidential, Profiles in Courage. I read that, I think, when I was in high school or something, but I've read it again. It's a great book. Kennedy was just like cool as a fucking human, you know? I own a small family business, been in business since 1960. God bless you. I'll send you my Trump's, the benefits of Trump's presidency. Blake Bryan. I don't know if I can believe you, but that's good. You got a small business. Don't let Jeff Bezos catch a whiff of that. He will put you the fuck down. He will put you down like a dog he don't like. I'm all for small businesses, man. They just don't exist here in America anymore. All right, guys. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Much love, even to those of you I disagree with, because that's how we separate ourselves from the fucking assholes. That's what Jesus tells me. Jesus says, how are you any different? Even the tax collectors love the people that love them. What makes you different, what makes you the salt of the earth, is that you love people that hate you. That's what Jesus taught me. So I have to try to live it. So even though I disagree with you, my love to you. And remember, what I'm fighting for when I say $66 an hour, and if you don't make minimum wage, that means you're underpaid too. People hear that selfishly and they go, well, what about me? I did all this stuff to make what I make. I'm not discounting you. I'm saying that's where the minimum should be set. You should be paid much more. You should have 4 vacations, 4 paid weeks off a year. You shouldn't have to ever pay more than it's 42 said, $38 for ankle surgery. What the radical left wokes want is for you not to suffer. I don't want you to suffer. Unless your version of suffering is like reading a book. Then fucking Christ, I don't know what to do. Jesus was a gangster. Real shit. 3rd generation. That's cool, Blake. That's cool. Where from the States you from? Eberhard Rumpsch. New England. It's not Old England. It's New England. Yeah, rest is taken care of by insurance. That's what insurance should be for. Real leisure is incredibly important for the soul, and not enough people get it, and I'm one of them. I used to have 4 paid weeks off a year. I've gone down to 0. I have to earn my vacation. So not only do I advocate for myself, but what I advocate, I want for even L. Ron Hubbard, who me and him disagree. I think you should have 4 weeks a year. I think we're better off as a society when people get refreshed, relaxed. You could just go look up cornflake capitalism. When Tom Kellogg or whatever his name, who made cornflakes, when they kept the pay the same but stopped making people work so long, they realized injuries went down, productivity went up, profits went up. I mean, it's inherently there, but just these billionaires and people like this fucking dude are trying to tell you just work harder, work 4 jobs, and then you get paid off. And I say, well, look at Stephen Colbert. Don't work out. So we need some kind of burnt bagel, shut up. We need some kind of people that are going to wake up and fight for the working class, and that's what I'm doing. So even if you disagree with me, guess what? I think you deserve a raise. I think you deserve vacation. Let's see Donald Trump say that about anyone. All he has is venge and spite for everyone, except for Ghislaine Maxwell. Remember, he wished her well when she was being sentenced or in prison. He wished her well. Yeah, okay. All right, guys, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell.